Hello and welcome back to the Block Update podcast. It is episode 82. I am, as always, joined by Slack Lizard, affectionately known by his mother as Jonathan, and I am, of course, Foxy No Tail, affectionately known by my mother as Not Until You've Finished Your Homework. Which, you know.
So you probably didn't get to do what you were wanting to do then, did you?
Not very often, no. I had a lot of homework. Every day. It used to take a good couple of hours. And you're like, my school day was a long day. I started at, I think, like 9, and I didn't finish until 4:15 in the afternoon. And then by the time I got home, it was nearly 5 o'clock. And then by the time I finished my homework, it was 7. Bed at probably like 9:30. Like, what? Why? Why so much? Jeez.
Has it gotten better as you've gotten older?
What's got better?
Free time.
Free time, yeah, it has. Yeah, it's got a lot better if I got older. Yeah, but like my kids don't have hardly any homework. Jack never had any. He's like, oh, I've got like some homework to do, and he'd log on to the computer for like 20 minutes, and he'd be done. I'm like, what did you do? I just did multiple choice thing. I had to do on the computer. That's not homework. I had books and textbooks, and I was writing. I got hand cramp. It was awful.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, they don't even teach cursive in school anymore.
No, well, there's no point in learning writing these days, is there? Everything's digital. Right,
yeah,
anyway.
You see these online challenges of, hey, I got this new challenge for you. Write your name without lifting a pencil.
What's a pencil? Jeez. As usual, I'd like to start the show by thanking our 53 patrons. In particular, I'd like to thank our top tier Minecraft 2.0 patrons, which are James Carter, Stitch Fix, and the Praetor. And I would like to ask nicely to support the show. That's what it says in my notes here. As you all know, we are supported by Patreon. If you go to patreon.com/the block update, you can help support us for as little as $1 per podcast. And the minimum perks you'll get are access to our patron-only podcast feed for our bonus content, which we record every week. And this week we talked about, well, movies, TV shows, editing videos, and all sorts of crazy stuff we ended up talking about, actually, considering we didn't think we had anything to talk about. You can get access to our Patreon-only Discord channels and a Discord role, which is lovely, isn't it, Slack?
Yeah, the shininess had to be taken away, though, because some people were complaining.
Yeah. If you want a shiny one, it's tough. You can't have one. Right, Slack, would you like to start us off with our feedback? See how everybody enjoyed the show last week?
Oh, okay. We got Muffin up first and says, I absolutely love the video you two put out. The contest first. What the? There's no break in this.
Sorry.
Absolutely love the video that you put out. The contest first one to get the trim, and you get your cursor off my screen.
Sorry, my bad. You don't like it when I'm doing this, then? I've edited most of them. Can't edit all of them, Slack. Some of them didn't have any right words in it at all. I had to totally guess.
when he puts his cursor on the screen on the bar that I'm reading on, I suddenly get this big thing that says the Minecraft update, and it blocks half of what I'm trying to read. Yeah.
I'll give you a nice easy one.
We do better at this considering we're reading a script, but it doesn't always work like that.
No, not when the people that have put the text in have made no sense.
I'm just going to start deleting words and sentences while you're reading them.
I think they do that when they send it in. They're like, right, I've written this perfectly. Now I'm going to take out all the punctuation, change all the spelling so it's wrong, and just remove words.
Yeah, right. They absolutely loved our new challenge series.
Yes.
Is the best way that I'm going to put it. The one where apparently the first episode where we had to get a trim and a pot. That was fun to watch. And then I can't wait to see Slack's video. Well, that's already out.
Yeah, you can see that now, Muffin. It is out there. Check it out. I'm still yet to watch your view on that. I'm looking forward to doing that. I need to watch your view on our latest one as well to see how much you cheated in that one. So I don't know how you did it, Slack, but you got to that nether mighty fast. And I was playing good. I wasn't messing about and doing all the wrong things at all.
No. It's kind of like in the first one. You weren't just sitting there bashing sand and stuff. No.
I always play fair, Slack. That's how I like to play Minecraft. Fair and square, especially when we're doing competitions. Jeez. Oh,
no,
right.
The days of fair and square are done. I mean, what?
Mm-hmm. Whitebush says, regarding my spectral enchantment wishlist item last week, the compass helps you find the X and Z of where you died, but because items explode off you, being very dark while retrieving them, flew off the cliff, etc., finding your gear after you've found your death spot can still be hard before they disappear. Having your gear able to show up while holding the compass would be very helpful, especially with how much more valuable netherite gear is now. I agree. I think so. This was a wishlist item. They wanted spectral item enchantment. So basically, anything enchanted with a spectral enchantment would glow like on Java Edition, which we don't have on Bedrock. And when you held a special compass, you'd be able to see it. I don't think that's the best way around it, to be honest, Whitebush. I think the best way would just make items that when you die, just make them not despawn. And then you've got as long as you need to get back to them. I don't think spectral enchantment's kind of good, but it's also a little bit cheaty. I get it. I would like it, and I would probably play with it. But I think it's too complicated because that's only going to find you anything that's enchanted. What about that amazing, the Nether Star that you've got, or that Netherite upgrade that you just looted from the Bastion? They're no longer, they're not spectrally enchanted, so you're not going to see them.
How about if it's ever been on your inventory, it's just tagged with, persistent.
Yeah, owned by a player, so just doesn't despawn.
No.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be easy to tag all the items like at the moment of death as well. Just, that player's died, so just tag these items with don't despawn.
Very
easy.
Fair. Muffin19 is up next and says, in regards to watching a movie that was based on a book, the trick is to read the book first. I enjoyed the Harry Potter movies, but only because I had read the books first.
No, that's the polar opposite to me. If I read the book first, the movie's ruined. Movies are never good as the books. Watch the movie first, then read the books, because then you get, you can enjoy it much more. The only problem with that is if you watch the movie first, you're not then creating everything in your imagination what things look like. But that's not always a bad thing, It's not necessarily a bad thing to already have those visuals in your head for what people look like and sound like, and the landscapes and the areas that they're in, the environment. So, yeah, I think I'm steadfast in my opinion on that one. Read the book after you've watched the movie.
I've done that several times, and I always hate it when I read a book and then watch a movie and they just get something wrong. Like that's not how that character looks at all.
No,
that's not what I pictured. You ruined it. So if I'd watched the movie first, then I would have had a preset thing in my head on how things are supposed to look. And then, sorry, Muffin.
Okay, Blaze the Curse says, I'm glad that you mentioned that you're seeing people headed towards modded as a way to deal with the lack of quality updates. I myself have been looking into Vanilla Plus mods for a change, and I'm glad I'm not alone in feeling the way I do about the game. I'm hoping they blow this next update out of the water after a relatively small 1.20 and Caves and Cliffs features spread across 3 updates before that. Besides that, I also want to say thank you for the work you do on the podcast. Keep up the good work, Blaze. Yeah, I think they do need to do something big, but I also think they're still probably sitting in that difficult spot where they've overpromised and underdelivered before, or at least people have took it the wrong way. Even when they've said this isn't necessarily coming, people have then, like the Fireflies and stuff, they're still outraged now. People are still like memeing about Fireflies, and there's still like packs that will put Fireflies back into the game. They're in a difficult spot. They've got to do something big, but they've also got to be really aware of like development time and crunching and, not pushing the people too hard because it's not a good position to be in. They've got to think about the reaction they're going to get from the audience. They can't please everybody. There's such a massive, diverse range of players that all want different things. They can't please everybody. So the easiest thing for them to do is toe this little like safe line they've got and then just go with popular things that are happening in the world. Like, I want it to be big. I feel like it needs to be big, but are they just going to rest on their laurels again? And I'm concerned that they are, considering we got that post last week with we're going to show you snippets of what to expect in the future. They didn't even dare say we're going to show you clips of what to expect in 1.21 or the next update. It was in the future. So they're not even prepared to say this is coming in the next update. So
let's see. Purple is up next and says, hey, Foxy and Slack, just wanted to say good job on the last stream. I popped in for a bit and it was pretty cool to see you play compared to listening to you talk about playing. Good job, Foxy, too. Your streams are also phenomenal. No more yelling, where is the Y in my stuff?
Where in the Y is my stuff? What?
I don't know.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you've watched the streams and I'm glad you like them. And you, anybody listening, can catch me and Slack live on Twitch. We both have Twitch channels and we stream semi-regularly sometimes. I've streamed twice this week, Slack. And apparently this weekend I'm going to be streaming about 48 times.
Yeah. We both got a busy couple days coming up on stream weekend and a chaos event this weekend too.
Yeah, exactly. So I've got chaos, which I don't even know when or what day that is. I've got streams Saturday and Sunday morning for TB as well. So I'm going to be a busy boy. I'm going to be streamed out by the end of the weekend.
That'd be time to take a month off after that, right?
Well, I normally do, don't I? Jeez. Hamster, is it me or is it you? It's me, isn't it?
It's you.
Great show again, lads. Knowing your sense of humour, I wasn't surprised to hear you say that you are fans of Red Dwarf. So I have one question. Do you want some toast? No, I don't want any toast. I don't want muffins. I don't want a waffle. I don't want anything. I don't want any toast. Okay?
I'm good. Yeah.
Jeez.
Ginger Muffin. The two structures in the Deep Dark in the Minecraft live promo at 1 minute and 27 seconds and at 1 minute and 7 were the entrance pillars left of screen, mini portal structures. The candles were the light blocks. Thanks for the good podcast.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay. Fine.
Look, we like to see, and I think somebody, I'm sure it was one of the developers tweeted this week to say there was a teaser in the trailer, so there's something in there.
What is it? Like a pixel in one of the frames?
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. I have no idea. I don't know, but there was apparently. Jack Alltrades says, just wanted to say thank you for the podcast, streams and videos. Listening to them helps me get through the workday. I also agree that Minecraft needs another big update on par with the Nether update. Yeah, it feels like people are thinking we need something big from Minecraft.
Yeah. Can you imagine them at Minecraft? Everybody's thinking and wanting something big, and they're just like,
we've got hanging
mountain biome
that you can now blow out. We've added a new tree, but it's not really a new tree because it's still oak logs and birch leaves, but it's got a slightly different shape, and it's going to be found in a new biome we're calling Savannah Plus, which is exactly the same as Savannah, but there's a little bit less long grass. Can't wait.
No. CJ is up next and says, hello, guys. Listening to you mention of the missing bow, crossbow, and trident enchantments, and the potential for new villagers, maybe they are finally working on the fletching table. Really enjoy the podcast. You guys make my week happy. That could be good if they did something with the fletching table.
Yeah, I mean, if that was a way to put enchantments on ranged weapons, then great. That'd be fantastic. But I don't see how they can really link that to tridents. Bow and crossbow, maybe. But tridents? Possibly. Maybe.
42.
Jack Alltrades is back with our last piece of feedback saying, thank you for the video. I've read that one. I've read it. You put the same thing twice. You must have put it one in the Discord and one on the feedback form. Note to anybody listening, just leave your feedback in one place because I will copy and paste anything, apparently. As long as it's not like total rubbish or something bad, if it looks genuine, I'll just copy and paste it. So, yeah, please just leave it in one place because otherwise you make me look foolish. Speaking of which, if you want to make me look foolish, you can do by emailing us at news@theblockupdate.com, filling in the feedback form on our website, or joining the Discord. The links for all of those are in the show notes and description below. Slack, my friend, it's time for the news. Are you excited for the news?
Yeah, I'll be more excited than I was when I was on stream reading about it the other day. Yeah.
Okay. So, we're going to start with looking at my shortcuts bar. Don't look at that, peeps. It's mine. Minecraft Java Edition 1.20.2 release candidate 1, which says, here is the first and hopefully last release candidate for 1.20.2, which it wasn't, because there's another one. And in that one, they adjusted the positions of all entities that ride on minecarts to make more sense. So they changed, I believe, in one of the pre-releases, the position of the player in a minecart, and as a result, all of the other mobs seemed to sit in it too high. So they made everything sit a bit lower, from what I understand. And that's pretty much it. And then in Release Candidate 2, they then fixed a problem with villagers and wandering trainers suffocating when travelling up slopes in minecarts, probably because of the position of the mobs that changed when they put them in the minecart. So that was it. Not even any bug fixes on that one. So pretty sure that 1.20.2 should be out like now, really, I would imagine. So that's Java Edition. Next, we got a brand new...
I don't like them fiddling with stuff in minecarts. I'm just saying.
No, it does tend to break a few things, doesn't it?
Yes.
Especially when they remove large entities from being able to be in them. Jeez. Minecraft beta and preview 1.20.40.22 was released this week. In fact, it was released today, Slack. Can you believe it? Came out today. And what's in this one? Let's analyze the picture, shall we? There is a village with an iron golem and some pigs and a baby villager and another iron golem and some farm stuff. And there's a cow and some pigs and lots of red poppies and lots of blue flowers. And I can see a bell and some water. Have I described the picture well for the people listening at home?
There's the bell. There's the water. Did you get did you get the rabbit?
There's a rabbit. Where's the rabbit? Oh yeah, there's a little rabbit there. Yeah.
And there's some cornflowers in the back right.
Yeah, the blue flowers. Yeah. Okay. Well, peeps, what an update. What a preview. Let's start with the blocks section. They've fixed a bug where the wrong signs of signs would sometimes be edited, so that's good. And they've fixed an extremely rare bug that could cause item frames not to drop their item when hit or destroyed, which had such a small % chance. You would never even know. How have they measured that percentage?
I don't know. I don't even want to know.
Obviously, that's there in the code somewhere, but that's how would they know? How would they figure that out? I don't know. There's something you like in here, isn't there? But we're not getting to that yet. It's nearly there. In game rules, they've changed the default game rule respawn radius to 10. So basically, when you die or when you spawn into a world, there's a radius around that spawn point of the world where you can appear. It's not necessarily one block. I always set mine to one block because I like the players to always appear on the same spot, because then you can build things around it. It used to be 5 as the default. It's now gone up to 10, which means you could be spread about a little bit more in that spawn area, which I really don't see why they needed to change that. There must have been a problem. Don't know, but there you go. They've changed it. Slack, the next one.
The gameplay.
Goat horns. The sound has a much larger range now, 256 blocks away. You'll be able to hear them from. How have they managed that when we've got simulation distances that are so small and render distances that are so small? How have they done that? There's some wizardry going on in the background there, isn't there?
Well, is it going to be like how the Ghast was as well? Remember when somebody at spawn at the Nether Hub could be near a Ghast and you'd be 2,000 blocks away and you'd hear it like it was right beside you?
Yeah,
Please tell me it's going to be exactly like that, because I can be so trolly with goat horns.
Yeah, well, in our challenge video the other day, you blew one. It was right in my ear and I could barely hear it. So, yeah, that could be interesting. Can't wait to hear everybody tooting on the goat horns as from the base. Please, I hope the volume goes down over that 256 blocks. I really hope it does. Geez, what else have I written in here? Okay, camel fixes. Camels no longer appear to slide while walking. They no longer move their legs when standing still, and they no longer dash indefinitely while in lava. So I guess that's good.
Sorry, I was just fantasizing. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Iron golems and snow golems now have a crumbling-like particle effect when they're created, which is nice. This is a vanilla parity section, by the way. Flowing lava and water mixing mechanics now match Java Edition. I don't know what that means. Is that going to be good for cobblestone farms and generators and things like that? Or are they talking about actual when lava and water on their own mix, or are they talking about when they're mixing together? Does that make sense?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing.
Let's read the bug report on that one. Oh, okay. So, yeah, I think that's like... when you've got your world loads in and lava and water touch, but they don't touch by the looks of things. Maybe. Okay. Witches will now target players within a 16-block distance. Now, I don't know whether that's more or less than there was before. Any ideas?
I would say that's less because they used to like target you from felt like miles away. You could have on an entity pack and see it through a wall, and it could see you from like 3 chunks away and start running at you.
Yeah, I knew they can like throw their potions from really far away at you and be very accurate with them as well. But I didn't realize their like aggro range was that close. There's also a whole bunch of technical updates in this one, including a whole bunch of things going from beta to releases with the API system and all that sort of good stuff. I'm not going to go through all that because it'll take forever. But yeah, if you're interested in finding out all of those new things, then make sure to check out the changelog. Again, the links for all of these changelogs will be in the show notes and description below. The final piece of news, Slack, is that we finally got a stable release for Bedrock. We didn't get Minecraft 1.20.20 because it was broken, but we did get 1.20.30, which I'm hearing a lot of people saying is broken, but I'm not actually seeing any of the results of that. So I updated my VIP server today with it, and nobody's screamed at me yet. So fingers crossed.
Hopefully.
Okay, let's find out what's in it. Go on. You said
no. I was going to say. So what'd they do?
Well, we kind of know because we've been through all of these in the betas and previews for the last literally 2 months. But I'm going to give you a quick rundown of what's in there. So I've basically made a list of all the things that I think are interesting, and it's a long list. There's a bunch of stuff in this update. It's crazy how much stuff they've done, and it's just crazy to think how much work is going into Bedrock Edition. Not just for like new features and new updates, just parity stuff and new things for like content creators and marketplace people and add-on people. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. So hats off to Mojang. Even if there are some bugs, even if there are some game-breaking things that come out as a result of this, you can't expect anything else really with how much they are changing and adding to the game. I still wish they would slow it down a bit, but you gotta give them credit where credit's due. Let's go through the list. We've got a new You Died experience, basically experimental You Died screen. It looks different from the current one, and apparently the camera zooms out after you've died, so you get a wider view of where you died, which sounds interesting. Crawling has been added. The whole trapdoor go into crawl mode thing's been added, which I can't wait to use. And the new recipe unlocking thing is now enabled by default on all new worlds, so that's new. They have increased the amount of diamond ore that will be generated in the worlds, as well as added in the player sleep percentage game rule, which means you no longer need my most popular add-on, which was my one-player sleep one. If you type in game rule, I can't remember the exact game rule, but game rule whatever it is, and it's something weird like player sleeping percentage. I can't remember how they've done it, but they could have shortened it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. 0 will mean only one person needs to sleep the night. 100 means everyone needs to sleep, and 101 means nobody can pass the night. And I tested that today while I was updating the VIP server, and it works, which is nice. Block destroying and explosion times have been changed to. Oh, I should have shown the picture of that, really. There you go. Look, there's a picture of the new You Died screen for people watching. The block changes have been made. Destroy times and explode times have got parity with Java. Not on all blocks, but on a lot of blocks. The recipe book search is changed, which is interesting considering they've rolled that back on Java Edition. But I guess this was probably done and published a couple of weeks ago, to the app stores and whatnot. So maybe that will change back. It says these changes are planned for both Bedrock and Java Edition, but they're still being tweaked. We definitely want to hear your feedback. So they're still looking for feedback on that, even though I think that's actually in the game now. What else we got? Block breaking. What else have I got on my list? Wandering traders now will have cherry saplings as part of their trades. Villagers won't gain a profession while they're sleeping. Ice and snow is now controlled by random tick speed. Witches will throw healing and regeneration potions at pillagers during a raid. Wild horses, mules, and donkeys can now be tempted using golden apples or carrots or an enchanted apple, and llamas can be tempted by holding a hay bale, which is a big change. That's a really big change. Being able to tempt those. Never been able to do that before, which is nice. In fact, I think we've got a wishlist item this week for someone asking for the ability to be able to tempt horses, mules, and donkeys. So there you go. Wish granted. The zombie villagers. They'll now have the correct professions when they've been infected. Shulker boxes mined without a pickaxe no longer take a long time to mine. That's a big one. That's a really good one. Happy about that.
Yep.
You can now, again, use bone meal underwater on sand, dirt, gravel, and clay, which has been broken for too long. It's not that bit long that's been broken, but that's a big one to have been broken for a while. So that's nice. Stone cutters no longer dropped as an item when mined using the wrong tool. And apparently, according to peeps in my Discord, this affects all of the new workstations. They've been in the game ages, haven't they? But the villager workstations always used to just drop their workstation, but apparently they need to be mined with the correct tool now, otherwise they just drop like bits, I guess. Campfires have always done that, haven't they? But yeah, so that's an odd one, but I assume maybe that's a parity change. I'm not really sure. What else have we got? Name tags. Players' name tags are no longer completely invisible when you sneak while the player is still visible. So if you sneak in front of someone, their gamer tag will dim, but it won't disappear. But I think if you're behind a wall, it's still completely gone, so you can still hide. But yeah. Vertical sync toggle has been added to the video menu, which is nice because we've been able to do that using the game options and the text files for forever, but actually being able to toggle that in game is nice. And they've added a new experimental toggle for players on Windows, which reduces input latency. And it says that increasing this setting enabling this will increase battery consumption. So if you're playing on a laptop, probably turn it off. But otherwise, that's good because I've found that to be a bit of an issue recently. Players will now have this is a big one for me, particularly. One of the biggest problems with being a marketplace creator is there's a rating system on there, so your packs and things can be rated, but there's no way that players can ever send you feedback. There's no write a review, or there's no messaging system, but they have now implemented a way to send one-way messages to marketplace creators offering feedback on purchased items. This feedback could be used to improve future content and changes. And that is good, because now people can tell you if it's something's broke, or if there's something not working in the game, or, I've paid for this, but it would have been better if it had that, because then you can be like, okay, I can do something with that. Constructive feedback's great. Chances are most of the messages are just going to be, it doesn't work, with no useful information. But I'm glad that exists, because there will be times where that offers really valuable information.
Yep.
The camera command is no longer experimental. It's completely come out of experimental mode, which is good. And Slack, they've fixed a bug, which isn't man. Wearable. Oh, geez. Okay, so wearable items, so custom items that you make with the custom items things, anything wearable is now no longer able to be stacked. But let me take you on a little journey, a little story. Many, many ago, I made a couple of packs that were basically the Bedrock Edition equivalent of the Vanilla Tweaks Mob Heads and Mini Blocks packs. But we had to do it in a way that Bedrock Edition worked, which meant that in order to do that without using experimental features, I had to make the Mob Head item and the Mini Block item a spawn egg. And that meant you couldn't put them on your head, and it also meant you could click on spawners with them, and spawners would then start spitting out mob heads. But otherwise, it worked pretty well. But people complained, Slack. People complained, I can't put these on my head. I need to be able to put them on my head. People were obsessed with putting them on their heads. So I created an experimental version of the pack using the experimental features. Probably getting on for at least a couple of years ago now, maybe even longer than that these packs have existed. And in all of that time, they have been able to be used with custom items. They don't work on spawners anymore. They weren't spawn eggs. They were completely custom items that you could put on your head. You could stack in your inventory in stacks of 64, and you could place on the ground, which were fantastic. It worked very well, although there was one minor issue that cropped up probably about a year or so ago, where if you had nothing in your helmet slot and you clicked on the ground, it would place one and also put the entire stack of them on your head at the same time, which meant you could duplicate them, which was a
Yeah.
problem. Basically, a bug where custom items that were wearable, if they were stacked, would be duplicatable. So the fix for that realistically should have been, right, we need to make it that when you click on the ground with this, or you click to place the item, it doesn't put the item on your head, right? Or on your chest, or whichever piece of item it is. It should be, if it's a placeable item and also wearable and stackable, we just make it so if it's being placed, we don't wear it. Simple, really easy thing to do. But they didn't do that. What they did is they made them just no longer stackable. Even if you say they're stackable, they're no longer stackable, which means if you've got mini blocks which you want to build with and do decorations within, each mini block will take up one entire slot in your inventory. Same with mob heads, which means the only way I can fix them, because that's the decision they've gone with, and that's the way they want to go, the only way I can fix them is to make them spawn eggs again, which means you won't be able to wear them. Why?
How does that make you feel deep down on the inside?
It's just it just honestly, I don't want to call the developers lazy, but it just feels lazy. It's not a fix. It's just a bandage over it. No, they haven't thought through the implications of this, what this will have. They haven't thought through the use cases for these things. They've just gone with, oh, well, armor shouldn't be stackable. Well, it's not armor. What if I'm making custom t-shirts and I want to have a t-shirt shop, right? And I want them to be wearable, but I also want to be able to place them on the ground or place them on something so I can display them. Why?
No,
what if
I can't have that.
No.
Gotta be separate items. Separate.
Why limit my creativity? Because just because you didn't think about how it might work, developer, why limit my creativity? Because you'd rather just go, we'll just turn that off, rather than go, oh, well, okay, let's look at what they're doing. If they're trying to place this, let's not put it on them as armor. If I'm clicking on another block while holding this, they clearly want to place it. If it's placeable, place it. If not, wear it as armor. I can do that with the beta API system. I can do that really easily.
They fix for you. They make better.
No, they don't make better. And so, yeah, sad news. Also sad news, peeps. Unfortunately, that is the end of the news. We have no more news for you this week. What a shame. What do you think about all that then, Slack? Are you happy that the new update is out?
You missed a big one in the update.
No, I didn't. I wouldn't miss big ones. No.
Yeah, you missed some big ones there. Just saying.
Not possible. I've never missed a big one in my life. Go on. What have I missed?
I mean, the discount for curing zombie villagers is now gone.
Oh, is that in?
Yep.
I only read the ones I was interested in, and that I looked at. I skimmed.
Mm-hmm.
I skimmed through. Okay, so
yep.
Yeah,
gone.
That's a shame. So
gone.
Before we actually get the experimental villager rebalance thing, we're already getting misery from our villagers. Great,
yep.
Fantastic.
Mobs on fire. Catch you on fire now. Yep.
Oh yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like that one. To be fair, that happened to me on Java the other day, and I'm like, oh, I forgot that could happen.
Oh, what happened?
Yeah.
Was there anything else big? I don't think so. Those were the two that I had seen in there. Just skimming.
Yeah.
Suspicious Stew no longer shows up in the creative inventory. I don't know.
Well, why would it? It's suspicious. Very suspicious, that Stew.
Many skulk changes. Many.
Yeah, loads of vibration updates, all the block changes with the explosion resistance and all that sort of stuff. It's a massive big update. It's a huge minor update.
Did you notice that also at the very end down there, minimal support on hardware? They're actually going to be cutting off some devices if they don't update.
Yeah, you need a newer version of your iPhone, and you also need a newer version of Ubuntu, I believe it is, the server software, if you want to upgrade your server, which has caught a few people out. That's one of the things I heard. I can't update my server because my server's missing files. Yes, because you need to update your server software, which sucks because, well, it's not fun updating an operating system just to play Minecraft, but there you go.
Good talk.
Good talk. Jeez. Okay, that's enough of news, Slack. I'm sick of it. I don't want to hear it anymore. Let's find out all of the happy things about Minecraft in the bug date. Let's find out what's bugging everyone, shall we? Do you want to kick us off?
Acidic Robin says, weeping and twisting vines don't have a 100% drop rate with shears. It's about a third drop rate, the same as breaking it with your fist. Oof.
Oh, I didn't even know breaking it with your fist wouldn't drop the whole lot.
Yeah, I knew that one. Yeah.
Huh.
Wow.
So what are you
So the
supposed to
only way
break
to
them with
harvest
then?
them is 100% is with Silk Touch, apparently, is what they say.
Oh, really? Okay. So, yeah, we got a couple of bug reports on that one, I guess. It's not affected. One of the bug reports says it's not affected by the fortune enchantment. Well, why would it be? That's not a bug, is it? But then apparently that's a parity issue. Oh, okay. They're saying it with fortune, it should have a 100% drop rate. I don't know. Weird. Huh. Okay.
Weird one.
Acidic Robin also gave us another bug report, Slack. And they say cocoa beans don't break when pushed directly by a piston, or if the jungle log they're attached to is pushed into the space they're occupying. It breaks certain farms that use bone meal to grow the beans. So, that's weird. That said, the pictures on this bug report, that's not going to work anyway. That piston's too far away.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
It's not occupying the same block. Why would that work?
Yeah, that wouldn't work.
No. I don't get it. That should work. Okay,
so then
that should definitely
work.
And that should work.
That should work.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's just pushed the cocoa bean off whole. Brilliant. Sorry for people that are listening to this rather than watching this. Check out the bug report because there's some funny pictures on there. Jeez. Okay.
Well, that was good. The Praetor is up next and says, many bugs with the new update, to name a few. Spiders can now spawn on platforms with buttons. Crafting recipes craftable is toggled off when logging into a world, and I'm sure there's more that I've seen too. Yeah, I've already seen reports about the spiders spawning being broken. So creeper only farms, bye-bye, they're broke again.
Oh, well, that's not unusual, is it? That's pretty standard par for the course. I can't remember the last time we had a mud farm that was like working the way it's supposed to. Jeez.
Yeah,
okay.
Every time they do an update, buttons are broke because they're still using the 1.11 code.
Yeah.
To design these updates in. Yeah.
Jeez. Nevergirl is back. In fact, you do this one, Slack, because there's a really long one coming after that. So, yeah.
It says, hey, Foxy and Slack, I recently found a bug while making a Minecraft track with my friend. When we tried to test it, every time the minecart went over the activator rail, it would kick us out of the cart, not get a boost from the rail, and would do the braking animation. That's how they work.
That's how activator rails work, Nevergirl. You want a powered rail if you want a boost. Activator rails activate the minecart, which means it tries to knock out whatever entity's in there. It's a good way for like doing mob drop-off or player drop-off points and things with your rail system. So, not a bug. Intended behavior. You picked the wrong rail, my friend. Okay, our last bug date is from Borenzo, who has just extended this on the actual, while we're doing the live show, and there's a couple of bug reports that come with it. It says, the new You Died screen is not working on my Pixel 6 running Android 13. Crafting recipe menus default to all. Summary, every time I start playing a world, new or existing, my crafting menu will always default to showing all items. I can change it to just show what I can craft based on what's in my inventory, but if I leave a world and log in again, it will default to all again. So I believe that's this one here. Steps to reproduce. I don't need the whole thing. So yeah, so a couple of bugs there. The You Died screen not working on Android, which it's experimental. What do you expect? And the, that would be annoying. Although, it's only happening when you start a new world. I imagine if you were starting a lot of like creative test worlds and things like that, which I do tend to do, having to switch your recipe book over to craftable rather than all. But it's not the worst bug in the world, is it?
No, but it's still annoying. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, right. That's Bugdate done, unless you've got any bugs for me, Slack, have you?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay, in which case, do we do wish list? Oh, no, it's tip of the week first, isn't it? Yeah, we got tip of the week. Then we got our new section, our special section just for this show. And then we'll get into our week in Minecraft. Then the wish list and questions. Jeez, what a format. Okay, tip of the week is from Preston, who says, I probably played for 6 months before I realized you could plant spruce and jungle saplings in a 2x2 square to grow a giant tree. Would have been super helpful to know early on. Yeah. Something the game doesn't tell you. I guess you can find those sorts of trees, but actually knowing you can grow them on your own would no one would know that.
That one feels like an odd one, because say you found a dark oak forest, okay, and you chop it down. Now you got dark oak saplings. How are you to know that you're supposed to place them in a 2x2?
Well, exactly. So
I placed down 600 dark oak saplings and never grew one tree. Why not? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, and you could bone meal it for days, and it's not going to do anything. Yeah. Yeah, then there's some funny things going on with saplings, and I don't know whether it's still the same, but it always used to be that. So oak could be planted, like you just could plant loads of oak trees all in a line. The saplings could be next to each other and absolutely fine, but there's certain saplings that need space around them in order to be able to grow. And I can't remember which ones they are, but I think it might be birch or acacia or something like that. No, birch you can do in a line, I think, like oak can. But there were certain saplings that couldn't be bunched up together, or they wouldn't even grow if there was like long grass next to them or something, or a flower next to them. I don't know if that's all changed now, but that's how it used to work. So
it's been broken for a while. There's a big parity difference between the two versions on that for sure.
Yeah. Right, what's your life tip of the week this week, Slack? I can see the cogs whirring in there. Steam started to come out the top of your head.
Drink plenty of water.
Yes, drink lots of water. Water's good. Okay, right, it's time for our brand new section for this show only. We are going to predict what is coming in Minecraft 1.21. We're going to come up with what we think is going to be the overall theme. We're each going to decide what one new mob will be, one new blog will be, and 2 other predictions to do with the update each. If we have the same prediction, then one of us needs to come up with a whole new one. So Slack's going to start each one. If he comes up with the same thing as me, then I need to, change what I'm going to think about. And then over the course of the next year or so, until I guess next June when 1.21 comes out, we will be able to see who got it right, which one's got it right, and how many points we get. And we'll be able to do a decider next June who's the winner. Jeez. Okay, Slack. What do you think the overall theme of the next update is going to be?
This is a really difficult one. I have my own hope.
Yeah.
But if you look at how Minecraft has done updates over the last 3 to 4 years, they're constantly splitting updates. They're saying the same thing over and over and over again. As much as I want to see a new dimension, I think they're going to play it safe.
Okay.
I think they're going to play it safe, and they're going to go back and visit some of the things that they promised that we were going to get. Like either the Savannah updates, more updates with the desert. I mean, we were promised new trees, we were promised new mobs in each of these biomes, especially the Badlands and stuff like that. As much as I want something big and new, I want to see an end update, or I want to see a dimensional update to deal with the Deep Dark. My gut feeling on the way that they've been doing updates, they've been splitting them. My gut feeling is saying we're still staying in the deserts or savannas or something like that.
Okay, so you're going with, just play it safe. A few bits here, a few bits there. Biome update here, a new mob there, something like that.
Yeah, as much as I want something big, I don't think we're gonna get it. I think we're gonna get playing safe. I mean, if you consider how we're talking about with the updates too, that they're constantly doing this and constantly doing that. They're staffing isn't their staffing only limited to like 2 years per contract or 3 years, something like that?
No
Then they have to
idea.
let people off for a while, and then they have to bring them back. It just,
Not a clue.
I mean, I would love for it to be the second part being New Dimension. They brought in that guy that was part of the Aether, right?
Yeah.
That made that mod, and he
Mhm.
helped develop the Deep Dark and everything. Maybe we'll get the second part of that update. I feel like we're eventually going to get a second part of it. But I think for this update, I think they're going to play it safe, and it's going to be overworld and either one of
Another
those three
safety
biomes they
year.
promised.
Oh, okay.
I
So
know.
what's the theme though? What are they going to call it? The safety update.
Yeah, there you go. The safety update. I don't know.
I don't. Yeah, what could they call that?
Look, Tales and Trails was a
the
horrible
s-
name for an update.
the sun and
Update.
sand update. The sun and sand. I don't know. The dry grass update. I don't know. Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's just that's my safe guess. What I really hope for is a different dimension, but
okay. So your prediction is a safe update where it's going to be split. Well, that doesn't conflict with mine then. I got two ideas just in case we had the same one, but my prediction. Oh geez, I don't know which one to pick now. I'm really hoping, due to the fact that they had a long, quiet spell this summer. So we know that there's a different dev team working on the parity stuff for Bedrock. So all of these Bedrock works that's going on isn't going to affect the work that they can do on the next update. That's a different group. So we can't go, oh, look at all this work they're putting in. They're clearly not working on a big update because that's separate. You take that out of there. What have we realistically got in terms of in the minor update stuff apart from that? Well, we got loads of stuff from the creative team, the editor stuff, the API stuff, all that sort of stuff. But again, that's not the people that are working on the new items, the new mobs, the new things like that, the other. So I think they've had a long period of actual relatively quiet time. I mean, look at Java Edition, hardly any snapshots, hardly anything in the snapshots, a bunch of technical stuff, which again isn't going to be the main team, I think, maybe, I don't know. So I'm hoping, I'm fingers crossed, I'm predicting that we are finally going to get the end update. I don't think they're going to give us a new dimension update just yet. However, within my prediction, I'm going to predict. I'm going to contradict myself though, and I'm going to predict that they are going to use the ancient city portals to get to the outer end islands, not the dragon, right? The dragon's still going to be through the main end portal, which takes you to the main end island, and that's going to stay exactly the same. The outer end islands are going to be completely different. They're going to be all converted into new end biomes. They'll have new blocks, new mobs. There'll be there's all sorts of new things going on out there, and those ancient city portals will take you to something similar, like a similar portal structure, but out on those outer end islands, right? And I don't think it'll be as intense as how the end was in Minecraft Dungeons, because that was beautiful, but there was so much. It was so vivid and bright, and there was pinks and purples and greens and blues, and there was loads going on. I don't think it'll be to that extent, but I think we'll have new structures. I think we'll have more colors. I think they'll still keep on theme with the yellow and purple, but I think there'll be some turquoise and blues and stuff thrown in there as well. I think we'll get new plants, a bunch of new blocks, possibly a new race like piglins were to the Nether, that you can trade or barter or do something with. Maybe something shulker based on that, like I don't know, something like that. And I think we'll get more lore with the end cities and the end ships. That's what I think we're going to get.
that was honestly on my first guess, but I don't think they're going to go that risky. I hope they do, but I don't think they will.
Do you want to know what my alternate idea was? But this doesn't count.
The new dimension connected to the ancient cities. Yeah.
So my theory is that the reason they put that portal in and have let it sort of sit with us for all of this time rather than doing anything with it is to get us used to it. Get us used to it, because then when they apply that to the end, it's not like all of us, oh, you're changing the end, or no, it's fine. But my alternate theory would be that it's a whole new dimension that has an ancient but advanced civilization with more structures and labyrinths and dungeons, but it's all really dark and ultra hard, like a really hard mode area to navigate and get lost in and stuff like that. And like with more like mobs that are very skulky and skulk colouring and styling and tendrily and things like that. That was my second idea. And if it's that, I don't win.
Oh, my first guess was going to be for the end, but I don't see them doing it.
No.
I don't see them doing it at all.
Okay.
And,
There's go on.
No, I just no, go ahead.
So the next thing we need to predict, there's obviously going to be at least one new mob because there's going to be a mob vote. And we're going to predict what one new mob will be in the next update. It doesn't have to be a mob vote mob, but it can be if you want it to be. What new mob are they going to be adding to the game? And what does it do?
We weren't supposed to get that specific. No.
I did put don't be vague.
No.
Okay, well, give me all the detail you've got.
But nothing. I've just been thinking they're going to go back and touch on an old update. I mean, you got what? The meerkat, you got the vulture. There was something else that they said we would get eventually, and we
termites.
haven't got yet. I don't remember termites at all.
Yeah, termites was part of the. There was the termite hills and the baobab trees and I think that was part of the Badlands one, maybe, or maybe that was part of the Savannah one. I can't remember.
Well, I don't know. I know the desert was the vultures and the palm trees,
and the other one was the Isologer.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was a mob vote one, wasn't it? I can't remember.
No, that was a mob vote one. Yeah, that one's not coming. Yeah, I'm just thinking of things that they said would be coming.
Okay, pick one of those then if you want to pick one of those, and then that could be your mob prediction.
I don't know. Something desert. No, vulture. I don't know.
Vulture. Okay, fair enough. So vultures were supposed to circle above your items after you died, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I got two, but I don't know which one to pick. I've got a prediction for a mob from the mob vote, which I don't think's going to get in there at all. I don't think there's any way in any chance they'll add this to the game. So this isn't my prediction, but my prediction was a mob called the Breaker. And basically you would give it a block of like a simple natural occurring block like dirt or stone or grass, and it would just go around very, very slowly breaking those sorts of blocks within the area that it's in. Because we've had the LA that gets items for you. The cats will bring you items where, when it's died, we had the copper golem that was going to, no, not the copper golem, the stone golem, was it, that was going to hold items for you, the copper golem that was going to press buttons for you. So they always introduce some sort of utility mob during the mob vote. So I thought that was another utility, but I just can't imagine them adding in a mob that's going to break blocks. So I don't think that's going to happen. But my actual prediction, going with my end theme update, I think there's going to be some sort of end mob that's got 4 legs and it'll be hostile, a little bit like a wolf. And that's as much detail as I've got on
that. I say if they go with the end, you'll get different types of Enderman.
Do you think so? Do you think they do varieties of Enderman? I know they've done that in like dungeons and things, but I can't imagine them doing that in actual Minecraft. Maybe they would. Maybe all of a sudden it'll be
like, mobs.
The Enderman will be tradable and trade them for Ender pearls.
No.
Okay. Right. Give me your prediction for one new block. What new block is going to be added to the game?
Palm trees.
Palm trees. That's not, well, okay. Palm tree wood then, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Mine is end growth. Like we got sculk patches and the moss patches. We're getting a whole on the glow lichen, lots of like those flat carpety things that are not really carpet. I think we're going to get one of those for the end. So it would be like a sculk patch with like that will spread from something, but it will be sort of purpley.
Be cool.
Yeah. Okay, and then 2 wild cards. So we'll take it in turns on this. What's your first wild card? Just something that you think they're going to add to the game. Could be anything.
Bundles.
Bundles.
I think bundles are going to magically come back.
Do you? Why?
We haven't heard nothing on it in a while. The archaeology was supposedly completely dead, and they brought it back.
Yeah. Bundles, they're still in experimental on Java. They're still there. And they still are on Bedrock.
I think they're going to work on those. I think they're going to come back.
Okay, right. Okay, my first wild card then. Oh, geez. I think there's going to be 2 new types of secret village that will deal with the crossbows and the tridents. I think we'll get some sort of aquatic village. It does not necessarily underwater, but one that's water-based. And I think we'll get another secret village that like is for archers or something like that. So they don't naturally occur, but there'll be 2 new like villager professions, I guess, that you can go and breed in certain biomes, and they'll give you certain things.
Maybe one of them's in the nether and the other one's in the end.
Maybe, but it would make sense to have a water one because you've got all those ocean biomes. And if you could like actually build a platform and start a village over an ocean, why not get an aquatic type of villager? Full of fishermen. And
it makes sense there, but where does it make sense that they have the bow enchantments?
Okay.
I get it for the trident.
It's a crossbow, isn't it, rather than bow? Yeah. I don't know. No idea. Not a clue. Unless piglins are going to start giving us crossbow enchantment books. I guess that would make more sense. But no, that's my prediction, is 2 new types of secret villagers. Okay. What's your other wild card?
I'm torn between 2 here.
Okay.
One of them's really not that big, but it would be. I have a feeling that we're eventually going to get hardcore mode in Bedrock Edition. And I feel like it's small, it's a wild card, you're not expecting it, but it could happen.
Oh, that's a good one. Don't you think that would just happen as one of the minor parity updates?
Well, let's look at the last update. Some of the stuff that they announced at Minecon, we got as minor updates beforehand.
True. That is very true, yeah. Okay.
That's why I say it'll be a wild card thing.
I don't know if that's too obvious, because we know that's coming at some point, and it's only a matter of time. I don't know if that's too obvious.
We knew mob despawning was coming. We know there's going to be a mob vote, but there's been no talk of it. That's why I feel like it'll be a wild card just out of nowhere.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's the prediction's too obvious to get a point for if it comes through, because, okay, I'll let you have it. Fine. What was your other one?
I can't even remember now because I got sidetracked there. What was it? I just had a second one. It was just in my brain and I lost it.
Well, I've got 3 more on my list, so I've got to pick one of them. I got a really obvious one that I think's obvious. I didn't think you'd let me get away with it, to be honest with you, which is the too expensive anvil limit will be removed. But I think that's too obvious. That's got to happen, right?
Yeah, that's got to happen.
And
that's got to happen.
My next one was that Java will get the Bedrock wither parity within, before next June.
They would have a heart attack with that one.
But I think the one I'm going to go for is my last one. So my prediction is, my second wildcard prediction is that some form of combat update will happen, bringing parity.
That's what the other one was. Yeah, sorry.
Bringing parity between both versions. I don't think Bedrock's going to get the Java combat mechanics that exist now, but I think there will be some form of changes to both versions with this next update that affects how combat works, and it will be put into both versions. And that might have something to do with the lack of crossbow and trident enchantments. I have no idea whether that'll tie into that as well, but I think we'll have some sort of combat update. That's it.
Isn't Sweeping Edge still in the list of default librarians, though, that you can get at a normal village?
It is. What, on Java? Yeah. So
even
maybe
with the new villager changes, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe they're planning on keeping that. It wouldn't be difficult for them to bring that to Bedrock.
No, I've seen several add-ons where people have done copy and paste versions to get it. It's not the same, but
yeah. So no, that's what my money's on. So there we go. We've got a whole bunch of predictions. Slack's predicting a sort of just a very safe bit and bobbing, another fine but not particularly great update. I'm predicting a big old end update. Slack's
which
predicting.
I hope is right.
What was your new mob? Can't
Yeah,
remember.
I don't even remember now. But
Well,
something that's not
it
going to
was the
happen.
vulture, the vulture mob. Mine was the new sort of four-legged ender creature.
Ender
Slack's
dog. Yep.
new block was the palm tree. Mine was the end growth skulky type patch thing. And then Slack's wild cards were Slack. What was your first one? Hardcore mode. And
No, bundles.
bundles and
Bundles,
hardcore
yeah.
mode. And mine were the two new types of villagers and the combat parity. Jeez. Okay. That's it then. Predictions over.
I almost guarantee there's going to be a new wood. Whether even if it's an end update, there's going to be a new wood. They feel like they're really trying to get the world of Rainbow there with all the wood.
I don't know, because they refused to add wood in for so long. Like they
And now, how much
give
have
us,
they done? So many back to back.
I know.
Almost
We've
every
just got all
update.
the wood. Yeah.
In every update, we've got almost a new tree.
Yeah, well, that goes with your palm tree prediction there, doesn't it? So you may well be right with that one. Jeez. Okay. Yeah, because what we had? We had cherry blossoms, bamboo, mangrove, azalea tree, which is oak, but with different leaves.
Yep.
I
mean, how many of the last updates have had trees in them now?
A few. Quite a few.
It feels like, you know how we got all the colors of wool, we got all the colors of concrete. It feels like now they're trying to cover all the colors of wood.
16 variants of wood with all of the stairs, slabs, fence. I mean, that would be a builder's dream, but that would be an inventory nightmare.
Every update they're adding another one, so they're getting there.
Fine, but give me different coloured chests and different coloured barrels and different coloured.
No, you can't have that.
Doors.
No,
we get different coloured doors.
No. Yeah, you can't. No, you can't have different colored barrels. No.
Wow.
Sorry.
Okay. Why?
Sorry. It's just too hard on game processing.
That's it for predictions. If you enjoyed that section, please let us know in the feedback, because I really enjoyed that. I don't think Slack enjoyed it as much as I did, but I'm very much looking forward to over the next, how many months have we got till June? 9 months-ish? Finding out whether or not any of our predictions came true. Jeez. Okay, it's time for our week in Minecraft. Slack, what have you been up to?
Foxy, what have you been doing in Minecraft this week?
Have you not played any Minecraft?
Not since we got together the other day and recorded our challenge series, no.
Our other challenge video where we had to go, that was a disaster, wasn't it? What a disaster. It was a good video. I really enjoyed it. Is yours out yet?
Yeah, it came out today. And it's
performing as well as myth busting.
Actually, I think it's arguably doing worse than myth busting was.
Oh, jeez. Well, one day we'll land on something that people enjoy, Slack. I'm sure of it. I'm convinced of it. Yeah. Well, I enjoyed that episode anyway. It was good fun. I honestly thought
enjoyed it.
From the very start, I don't want to spoil it, but I had a very slow start compared to Slack. We basically had to find our way to the Nether and then find a netherite upgrade template, which apparently only occur in one type of bastion. I didn't realize that. I thought they were available in all bastions. So, yeah, I was very, very late getting to the Nether. You'd already found and pretty much ransacked an entire bastion by that point, by the time before I'd even got in. But then it all went a bit wrong, didn't it?
Yeah, a bit of it went wrong, yeah.
Geez, very entertaining episode.
Talk.
If you haven't seen it and you're not watching it because it's not truly Bedrock, then just check it out anyway, because it was really good fun. Jeez. Okay, this week in Minecraft, I have put way, way too many hours into playing on this modded world, this create world with all these other mods in, and finding some things good and some things bad. So I'm really enjoying it. What I enjoy about it is not just that, oh, that's new, and oh, that's new, and oh, that's new, but it's the, how am I going to achieve this? Because I need a kelp farm. I could easily make a vanilla kelp farm. How am I going to achieve it with the new stuff? I want to find a new way of doing it. I need an iron farm. How am I going to achieve that? I need a wheat farm. And bone meal. I need a bone field farm. How am I going to achieve this with all of these new functions and features I've got at my disposal and not do it the vanilla way? And that is giving me the most enjoyment. Absolutely brilliant. I have realised that I've caused myself a bit of a problem, though. Although it's only an early game problem. So, you know how when they added andesite, granite, and diorite, they added it and it was everywhere. You suddenly went in the mines and instead of it all just being stone, it was just big clumps of everything everywhere, right? It made everything look really messy. Well, the Create mod relies on andesite as one of the like earliest building materials in order to actually start creating any of the Create mod stuff. So you need a lot of andesite. But I've put another mod into this mod pack, and I don't know which one it is. But I put a whole bunch of ones that add new biomes, one that changed vanilla terrain, ones that add this, that, and the other. And one of them, and I can't find it in any of the mod descriptions, but it puts world generation like underground back to the old days. So above Y0, everything's just stone. And below Y0, it's deep slate, as you'd expect. But there's no deposits of andesite or granite or diorite. It still exists, but it's in weird places. Like granite is just below the grass surface on the top of hills. And if you dig down deep enough into the world, you'll find these massive things of tuff and massive things of limescale. And sometimes they'll have like a bit of andesite running through them or a bit of diorite running through them. And you're like, oh, geez. But unfortunately, obviously, there's a whole bunch of different ways to craft those things with the Create mod later in the game. But I need to get to that stage first before I can start doing that. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I did a couple of streams on it. They seem to go quite well. They didn't pull quite the same sort of numbers as a truly Bedrock stream, but they weren't bad considering like when I do other content, it's a lot less than that. So yeah, that was pretty good. And then that's it really. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to build and do farms at the same time. So I'm putting a lot of hours in, a lot of off-camera stuff, a lot of mining. But obviously it's early days. Any early days world, you've got no resources or anything. So you do have to just spend an extraordinary amount of time just gathering resources. But I'm trying to work my way through like, okay, what do I need first? What do I realistically need to make? Because I can easily make an automatic mining machine or an automatic this machine or that machine. I was like, right. Playing this game differently, what do I need? And one of the like things that you use in Create a lot is super glue in order to stick things together so you can create like contraptions that'll move. And I didn't realize that I thought it would be single use. You craft one super glue and it would be, you get one splat with it. But it's not. It's got durability on it. It lasts ages. So I was like, okay, the first thing I'm going to do is build a whole bunch of farms that allow me to generate super glue, which is made with slime and basically dough. It's made with slime balls and something else, but you make slime from dough, which you get from wheat flour, which you get from wheat, and lime dye. So I've got this like massive rabbit hole to go down to make this glue, and it turns out I don't even need to, but it's a fun process anyway, and I'm really enjoying it. So yeah,
more glue than you'll ever need, right?
Yeah, but I'm not. But I got a massive rabbit hole to go down because I need a bone meal farm. I'm going to need a flour farm. I'm going to need like a lime, some way of getting lime dye. There's a whole different like bunch of stuff to go down just to get like the key ingredients to make slime before I can even start using that for something else. So yeah, good fun, really good fun. Thoroughly would recommend playing the modded Minecraft for a bit because it just gives you that feeling that you get first time in Minecraft. Wow, what's that?
I want something, but my mind just I look at a modded Minecraft and it's just like there's too much randomness in here. There's 8 million things that I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, if you look through the list of craftable blocks, you just have a seizure. You'd be thinking, I can't possibly cope with all this. But I imagine the same thing would happen the first time a new player joined Minecraft. And if they saw all of the available crafting blocks, would be like, geez, there's a lot of stuff to do with this. I'm never going to get my head around any of that. But you just do over time, don't you? So I think the thing to do is, just like we do in Minecraft, what do I need? Okay, I need that. How do I go about getting it? And that's what I enjoy. So just try it. Give it a go. What could go wrong?
I do like the one, like one mod at a time. It would.
Well, yeah, that's probably then the quest book stuff comes in. Like I was watching Beardy's last Create movie thing. It's like 2.5 hours. He put all of his episodes together, and that was just going through. So there's a load of mods in this mod pack, and there was a book that was like all the different quests for each mod, and you just go through it stage by stage, and that was basically what he did for the whole thing, and it was really entertaining. And I've done stuff with quest books before, but never as advanced as what he had. And it, they're much more enjoyable than just sitting there. I've got this mod pack. What do I do with all these mods? So maybe try that as like a little mini series or something if you're interested, unless you're not, or just play with it. Don't have to record anything.
Doesn't it feel like cheating though when you're sitting at your computer and you're playing a game and you're not recording it?
Yeah, 100%. I'll record it for your second channel then. Okay, right. It's wish list time, Slack. Do you want to start us off?
Oh, wish list. Let's see who I can make cry today. Not So Blue Sheep is up first and says, I would like to be able to waterlog moss blocks, please. Then I could use them in the middle of my crop field and plant a pretty flower instead of having to use a pot. I'll tell you what you can do here, Not So Blue Sheep. Use the azalea saplings. They won't grow unless you bone mill. You can waterlog them. There you go. Problem solved. You don't need to waterlog moss blocks.
What we waterlogging? Sorry, I missed that.
They want to waterlog moss blocks.
Yeah, but what did you say was the alternative?
Azalea saplings.
Yeah. Or just azalea leaves. I don't think you can put flowers on
You
top
can waterlog leaves on Bedrock Edition. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yep. Not a good idea then. Okay, fine. It doesn't make sense to be waterlogging a solid block anyway. It doesn't make any sense.
No, it's not happening.
Xenon17 says, when Mojang add a super cool boss in a super cool dimension in 1.21, when killing it, it should give an item that you can use to permanently allow you to hold items in 2 times the normal amount. Stacks of 64 and now 128. Ender pearls would be 32, etc. It would have to be respawnable but unfarmable. Can't add that into the wish list because that mob doesn't exist. The boss doesn't exist. I just think, like, I don't know, some sort of, you can't really put an enchantment on your armor because if you lost your armor or it broke, then your inventory size would just suddenly like break in half and all your items would fall on the floor. I don't know. I just think increase the max stack size, like you said before, is best.
Yep, I agree. No, that's not a good idea. I love this. We've already denied 2 today. I'm feeling good. Mike is up next and says, in the 2x2 crafting grid, phantom membranes can be applied to any gear item to restore 10%. No, rubbish. No.
Why? Why would phantom membranes restore durability to anything other than Elytra?
Yeah. And nobody even does it anyway, because by the time you get an Elytra, you want mending. So
yeah. No. Sorry, Mike. Oh, we're in a mean mode today. The last few podcasts, we've got loads of stuff into the good ideas, and I feel like today's going to be a 0. Here's hoping. Lucy apparently says, my wish list is for horse, donkey, mule update. Firstly, saddles should be craftable. No, they shouldn't. And then you should follow. They should follow if you're holding something like a golden apple or a golden carrot because they love to wander off. That's just come out. That's in there now. And I'd like to see a speedometer that sorts much like the jump and health bars. Thanks. Do you know what? I'm going to agree with, not necessarily a speedometer, but I would like to be able to, when you go into a horse's inventory, I'd like to be able to see its stats, not just how much health it's got. I want to see how fast it is and how high it can jump. I don't want to have to keep getting off one horse and going on another and seeing, oh, is this one slightly faster than that one? Is this one slightly faster? I just want to see the statistics, which is, is this a fast horse or is it a slow horse? So I'd be up for that. Saddles is, I mean, by the time you got a couple of farms going, you've got more saddles than you're just burning them. You don't need saddles.
Yep. Yeah. I would like to be able to enchant horse armor with something, or different types of armors do different thing. Okay, so you wear diamond armor on your horse. He may move a little bit slower, but he gets like extra damage resistance and can fall from higher. You put a leather saddle on him. Yeah, you put a leather saddle on him. He gets like speed 2. I'm fine with the horse stuff, but craftable saddles, no. You already got the one thing you're wishing for. And stats, like you said, yes, but a speed bar, no. It's not a race car.
Yeah, revs per minute. Good idea, stats, visible, and good idea, horse enchantment. So neither of what you asked for there, Lucy, but, close.
You gave us ideas, but yeah, as far as your ideals go, no. Good. I like this. Xeon is up next again. They say make splash potions give the time stated no matter how you throw them. Saying this because when you throw it at your feet, the effect lasts less.
That's true.
No.
That shouldn't be right. The fact that when you throw it directly at your feet, it doesn't last as long as if you chuck it up in the air and it lands on your head. That's weird. That doesn't work for me. But if you throw a splash potion and you're not near it, I don't think you should get the full amount.
Yeah, exactly. So, no.
Yeah, sorry. Mike is back saying, give the 3 Smiths a repair UI for the respective gear types and charge Emerald for services. Something like 5 to 10 durability restored per Emerald. Could have a spend cap of 64 Emeralds per restock period. For context, Diamond Pickaxe has 1,561 durability. I think that's a fantastic idea. I don't like the cap on there. I don't see why there should be a cap. But yeah, paying a smith to fix your gear for you. Maybe it takes a day. Maybe you have to give it them and leave it with them.
Yeah, I'm fine with this. Yep.
Yeah.
But what if it only worked on armor that didn't have mending?
I don't think it matters because you're paying for it at the end of the day.
Okay. All right, yeah, I'm fine with that. Yeah. No cap, though.
Yeah, no cap.
Yumi Chan is up next and says, I wish I could have a Foxy no-tail plushie.
Tough.
Sorry, no.
You can make one like Roth did. Roth made one and then sent it to me. Didn't even keep it. Gabbardy says, gentlemen, probably already submitted, but log stairs and slabs if you're in a giving mood. Thoughts? Slabs maybe, but log stairs would be weird because they'd have... Oh, I suppose, no. What's the difference between log and wood? Is wood where it's got bark all the way around and log where it's just no bark at the top and bottom? I think that's the case, isn't it?
Something like that, yeah.
So log stairs would be stupid because you'd have that you'd have the top. Yeah, that wouldn't work with the texture. But wood stairs, not planks, but the fully surrounding one would kind of work better. I wouldn't mind that. I think slabs, anything slabs, really. I like slabs. Wood slabs, I think.
But it's not good enough to make me go, oh, yeah, I want this. So I want to say no.
No. Sorry.
Yeah.
Stone Ostrich. Oh, it's you, isn't it?
Yeah, Stone Ostrich says, stairs-shaped light blocks.
No.
Why
would you need that?
An ideal... Man, I was looking at a video the other day because I was looking for Bedrock mods.
Okay.
And I seen one. It copied the Java one. It was pretty good. It was pretty good enough that it almost had me playing it. But they had 2 things that were craftable in this mod that I really liked. One was you could make glow... I forget what it was called, but you used a piece of glowstone and like 4 snowballs. And then when you put it on the ground, it made that area light up. But you could break it again.
What, like a light block?
Yeah, but it wasn't a torch. Yeah.
So it was invisible.
You could see it. You could see the outline of it, and you could see that it was glowing, but it wasn't that ugly torch spam that you get.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough.
And the other one that I seen that was in the mod was 4 gunpowder and a flint and steel. And it was like more or less just charges that you could just throw.
Throwable TNT.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah.
But it gives you a use for flint.
Yeah,
I really like that. Yeah.
I like that idea. But I don't think a stair... Why would you want a stair-shaped light block? Why?
Especially on Bedrock Edition when light goes through stairs. All you have to do is put a light under it.
Yeah. That'll be parodied out soon, I'm sure.
That'll be horrible when they do.
Nevergirl is back. Saying, hey, Foxy and hey, Slack. This is probably a stupid idea, but I had an idea for a rain in the nether, but it's made of lava. It doesn't really make sense because the nether has a roof, but I was thinking it would burn you and you'd have to find shelter. Nevergirl burned to death from a lava rain. Absolutely not. No way.
I'd like for if there was weather in the nether so it flared up. Suddenly you had like a heat bloom. You know how you get the particle effect from certain biomes? Well, suddenly you had a heat flare in the nether and it just looked like sprinkles of lava everywhere. That'd be cool, but no.
Would it burn you though? Because I don't.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it'd burn you.
No. No, you're pillaring across one of those lava lakes, and all of a sudden there's a heat storm, and you just start. No thanks. No.
Or maybe it just, it brought in like a smoke, so it brings down the render distance, like the rain in the overworld, and you just see like red floating particles and smoke around you.
Maybe, and maybe if you had fire protection, it would negate it, I guess, but no.
No. Okay. Okay.
The nether's
Anyways.
bad enough, don't make it worse. Roll back the nether a bit. Give me more just open nether wastes that I can run along without falling off something or coming up to a wall or... Jeez.
Oh, we got Jade up here next. I want to be able to grow all the trees next to each other to make a wall of trees.
No. It's not how trees grow, Jade. It's just not how it works. Trees.
I was gonna agree with you on this one, Jade, but he actually know that. So
no, go on. Give me some context here. Why?
I want to be. I've got a build coming up, and it just would make my life a lot easier if I could just plant a bunch of trees like really close together and have a multicolored fence. Because then I'd just go through and chop out all the leaves out of it,
just
and
shave all the leaves off. Wouldn't
it
just take you longer to shave the leaves off than it would just to pile up?
I always need leaves for tree builds later.
Oh, okay. No, it's not good ideas enough. Sorry. I like the idea. It's not a good idea.
Sorry, Jade. I was for that one.
Nevergirl's back again with our last wish list item saying, "Hey, Foxy and Slack, I think we should be able to place dyed water from a cauldron. Nevergirl 2010 drowned in dyed water. I think this is a good idea. Why should we just be limited to the biome colors of water? Why shouldn't we be able to pour potions all over and make like multicolored like ponds and things like that? That would be fun. Why not?"
So if I went and right click the ocean with a single dye, is it only going to do that one square, or is it going to bleed out and do more of the ocean?
No. So like, when you put dye in a cauldron or when you put potions in a cauldron, you get the color of the potion or you get the color of the dye and then you would have to click that with a bucket to get that color of that into there. And then you pour that water somewhere else. You can't just go around dyeing any old water. That's crazy.
Okay, so if you wanted to change the color of a river, it'd be a nightmare.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, any existing water, you'd have to remove all the water and then put new water in. But if you was making like a little pond or a little lake or a little like custom river, I think you could have some lovely colors.
So can I take 2 cauldron things of water that are the same and make a 2x2 and make an infinite water source and then just start picking it up with a bucket?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sold. Yep.
Yay. Nice. Brilliant. Oh, we got a couple of good ideas in there. Probably not as many as we've had before, but there's 4. So there you go. Which takes us on to questions, our final round. Oh, if you've got a good idea, by the way, and you think it's a really good idea and you want it to get in the game, we have been on the sly, we're not allowed to tell anyone this, but absolutely 100% guaranteed by all of the Mojang developers are on board with this now, every single one, right?
Yep.
That at some point, eventually, anything that we put in the good ideas bin will get into the game, unless it doesn't and they don't want to do it, or, they run out of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we have to say no to some of your ideas.
Yeah, because we don't want to send them all sorts of rubbish. Jeez.
Well, I mean, the quota this week said we could only approve 3, didn't it?
Yeah, we've had 4, so we're already over quota.
Yeah.
So
we're going to be in trouble for that.
Yeah. We don't want to push this relationship with them too hard.
Yeah.
Right, slightly worse. Some people are going to believe that. Oh, really? Yeah.
Okay. Where are we at? Questions. Leon, what's your opinion on weather killers that use Bedrock and stuff? They're cheaty, but I like them.
Yeah, I like using them. I hate killing the wither. It's a pain having to get beacons. I absolutely hate it, but it is really cheaty. I don't think it should be vanilla, but I think there should be a vanilla way to trap the wither. I think it should be difficult. I don't think the wither should be able to blow through Obsidian, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah. No. Can the Wither break the reinforced frames?
Don't know, but you can't move those anyway, so... No, I don't think it can, because they're the same as end portal blocks. Alternate 42 says, regarding your Minecraft live discussion on episode 81, with the consensus that Mojang are being vague and with what they're calling, with what they're willing to show and shared disappointment that players feel towards the recent updates and changes to the game, do you feel that Mojang have given up developing the game for the players and are now focusing on how they want it? Would love to hear your thoughts on this. Thanks for a great podcast. No, I don't think so. At the end, they're not like a group of people just running wild, just doing whatever they want. It's a massive, they're like a big company working for an even bigger company. Single thing they do is going to be scrutinized to the nth degree. There's probably very little freedom in there at all. Every single decision they make is going to have to go through a bunch of meetings, different people, different things. It's going to be considered from, is this going to be suitable for all of the people that play Minecraft all around the world? Can we do this because of accessibility? Can we do this because of that? Does it fit within our brand guidelines? Are Microsoft going to like it? Will it go up on that? There'll be millions of things they've got to consider. So I don't think they've given up. I think they're just finding it hard to probably, find ideas that everyone's happy with, that they think the majority of the player base will be happy with. And I think they're probably a little bit sick and tired of all the negative feedback they keep getting, and also sick and tired of all the constraints that they now got to work for because of how big the game's got and how much pressure there is these days on game developers, not just from the companies they're working for, but like the shareholders and the audience and the reviewers and the media and all that. So much pressure. So I think they've just got themselves into a situation where they're so big. Too many cooks spoil the broth at the end of the day, don't they? So the bigger the company, the harder it is to actually make decisions. If they went back to just being a small team in a little studio somewhere, I bet we'd get loads more stuff from the updates than we do now. So I don't. It might feel like that sometimes, Alternate, but there's no way that would be a thing.
Robo Rufus is up next. It says, hey, Foxy, why did you change your YouTube profile picture? And to both of you, what is your favorite update so far?
I just put it back to, I took away the cartoony fox face and I put it back to what it used to be. I don't know why. I just felt like it was, I don't know. I think I was in a bit of a strange mood that day where I wasn't feeling particularly childish and I just wanted to be a little bit more serious. And I thought maybe people take my channel a little bit more seriously if I had a little bit more of a serious profile picture. As a result, ever since I've done that, and whether or not it's a case of changing my profile picture or not, things have not gone well with my channel. So maybe it was a bad idea. Jeez. What's been your favorite update so far, Slack?
Favorite update was another update. Update I disliked the most was the aquatic update.
Oh, jeez. I think my favorite update, I have to go back a long way, was probably either the original end update or I think it was the World of Color update, something like that, where we got all the stained glass colors. That was amazing. The feeling I got going into the game, going, wow, look at all these colors of glass and what I can do with that, and then realizing, realistically, I can't do other than making rainbows. There's not a great deal of use for them all. But the feeling I had from that update was wonderful. So yeah, probably way, way back, one of those ones. Pre-Bedrock. Jeez. Ajax Seawolf says, so I was listening and Foxy had mentioned something about how YouTube shows him how long a video is watched and so on. I know sometimes I start a video, have to pause it for some reason, and then come back to it later. Does this hurt your algorithms? Or should I wait till I have a set time to watch a video all the way through? I've no idea whether that makes any difference or not, but what I would say is don't worry about it. Watch YouTube for you when you want to watch it and it's convenient. One person changing their viewing habits isn't going to have any effect on a content creator as a whole. So even if that does hurt things, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. I'd much rather you see bits of the video when you can and are actually watching the content and I'm getting some views, then people are like putting it off and waiting for when there's a time convenient, because there's never a time that's convenient. Never, ever. All of a sudden you'd be like, okay, if I've got to watch this video in full, normally I'd consume maybe 4 or 5 hours of YouTube a week, but I can only fit an hour in now. So I'm having to cut out people that I would normally watch. So you're seeing less, and the people are getting less views overall. So just watch YouTube how you want to watch it.
Yep. Jade is up next and says, if we were to get an end update, what would you like to see happen to it?
Everything.
I want new entries.
Yeah.
I want new ores.
Yeah. New horse.
I want
a new camel.
Horse. I want me a new horse. I want me a new camel, and I want me a new plane.
Yeah.
Just overhaul it.
Yeah.
Overhaul it.
I want them, all of the end islands, to just be like, I want 4 or 5 different end biomes that just cover those end islands. And I don't mind if they're still end islands, but I'd like them bigger, like bigger land masses. Don't mind there being gaps between them, but I want a whole range of plants, a whole range of different mobs, some passive, some peaceful. I'd like end, not villagers, but like piglin equivalent, something that lives there that is a little bit more sentient, that has a purpose. I'd like more structures. I don't want them to touch the end island. I think they should leave that how it is. But I think there should be a whole, when you fly out to the end islands, there should be just color and terrain and variation that just makes you go, wow, that was worth it. That was worth killing the dragon and heading out over here, or it was worth going through the deep dark and lighting up that portal to get out here. Because at the minute,
yeah, that's boring. Yep.
As if I'm always frustrated when I watch a tutorial and the person explains what to do without explaining why. Have you ever considered doing tutorials on much smaller topics, something like how to use a piston, where you address the basics but also address advanced features like why you might want to use a piston against obsidian? Thought about it loads of times, but you can't really make a decent length episode of how to use a piston unless you're going to do one of those like mumbo jumbo, I made 4,000 different contraptions with these pistons and show off all of these different things. But the problem with things like that is you can use a piston in so many different ways that might be totally irrelevant to a lot of people. So there's probably a bunch of people out there that would enjoy seeing some stuff like that, but I don't know how you would go around making an entertaining video out of it. What do you think, Slack?
I've had so many people, I'll do a basics on redstone. No, I'm not going to do that because there's too many things to cover. And I don't even know the basics myself. Oh, but you've been making all these farms and videos. Yeah. And I forget half the stuff I learn.
Yeah. I still, every time, have to look up how a T flip-flop works. No idea.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think how I'd build one in my head right now. You don't memorize these things perfectly. It's how to use a piston. How you use a piston and how I use it might be totally different. In Slackville, I've been using them as decoration. Okay. Yeah. I'm making them into tables. Some people use them to make piston feed tapes. I mean, if you want to go into a video alone on how to use a piston, could you think of the number of contraptions you would have to explain?
Yeah. All the different ways of using one. It would, I mean, you could probably make that semi-entertaining, but here's the stinger in this question. Those videos already exist. The reason you're not watching them is because they are boring. They are boring. When the sort of people that make those videos are the sort of people that drone on about the technical side of things that's way too invested, way too boring, and there's no charisma or interesting things going on.
And that's all they're giving you is the technical of it.
Yeah.
And it's going to always be based on that person's view alone.
Yeah, how I use them, how I think they should be used, how to do this, how to make that. And by the time you got like 3 minutes in, you've already shown if you give it redstone power, it can, extend and why would you watch anymore? I don't know. Some people would. Some people find it really entertaining, but I think a lot of people would just find it totally, totally boring. I don't know how you would make it entertaining.
Yeah, at all. And if you watch tutorials where somebody doesn't explain something, well, not everybody does tutorials that way.
No.
I mean, I know I explain in great detail usually why I do something, and it's usually probably to the point of being annoying. I
Yeah,
want people to
yeah.
understand why I'm doing something,
Yeah, that was one bit of praise I always used to get on my tutorial videos is that I like the fact that you actually explain why. Well, if you don't know why, what's the point in doing a tutorial? Don't
Exactly.
then. And this is what irritates me about why I need to know all of the blocks I'm going to use. No, you don't. This tutorial isn't here for you to copy, just blindly copy what I'm doing. It's here to teach you how these things work. So you can, in your own time, go and adapt it, change it to suit you, go and do something that's, and make your own. I want you to be able to come away from this and make one that's even better than mine or different to mine.
Exactly.
And I'm not
Oh
looking
man,
for you to cut it out of the magazine, stick it in your own world.
yeah, I want you to come to my tutorial to actually learn why you're doing it. And I'm probably not going to give you the best, the most efficient, because I'm trying to target a broad audience. Many times I get comments on my tutorials, oh, but you can compact the redstone down. You can do this, you can do that. But for simplicity's sake, for just your standard user, they don't need it to be so complex that it hurts their head.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
they start to understand the components and they're like, oh, if I just move this over here, I can do this faster. That's good. They learn then. I don't make my tutorials to be the number one or the fastest ever. I make them to be understood. And if you can understand it, you can take that knowledge and do it yourself.
When Mumbo does his contraptions and he builds it all up and then he compacts it all down, and I'm just sitting there going, all I can see is a bunch of observers there.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? How did you go from this thing that takes up an entire world to this tiny little thing that all works perfectly and all I can see is observe? What? You don't need to know that. You don't need to do it. Stop it.
Yeah.
Or tell me how. Tell me how you did it.
Yeah. Yeah. If I'm looking up something, which I rarely do anymore, unless it's for a different game, I don't want somebody to give me, you put this block here, do this, do this, do this, do this, and not give me an explanation why. If they don't give me an explanation why I'm doing it, I'm not going to watch another one of their videos.
Yeah, exactly. If the person goes, you put this here because then that does that, then I'm interested. If they just go, put that there, put that there, put that there, put that there. No, I'm not watching this. I need to know why I'm putting it there, because I'm not going to watch your whole tutorial. I'm going to watch the bit I'm looking for, and then I'm going to go away and adapt it and put it in what I'm doing.
Yeah. There's a big difference in the tutorial you watch where somebody can explain it and one where they can't explain it.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say that some people just steal other people's farms. Oh, I'm saying I don't even care. I'm not calling no names. But if you think that some people out there don't steal other people's farms pretty much block for block and then put out a video on it, but can't explain to you how it works. I literally seen one content creator who made a video, dropped the video, and then the next day tried to build the thing on stream and had absolutely no clue on how any of the mechanics work. None. But they just dropped the video the day before.
Why are you doing that? What are you doing that for? Not a clue. Not a clue.
Not a clue, because somebody else
someone
told
else
him.
did it.
Yep. Yep. Couldn't tell you one thing on any of the mechanics, and even made a post on Twitter that was just so blatantly horrible.
Wrong.
So wrong. They had no clue what they were doing. If you're following that type of person and you're wanting to learn why, you're never going to learn why, because they want you to come back to their video over and over and over again, because, they might have kids and soccer practice and stuff.
I think we've said enough now, Slack. I think we should move on to the next question. Cerberus says, although the mob vote as is does not work since Mojang won't stop doing it, do you think it would be better if they just sorted the order that the three mobs would be introduced to the game? So I think what you're saying there is, instead of picking just one mob to get in, you pick whichever one gets the most votes is added first, then the one with the second gets second. I wouldn't mind that. I think that would be a better way of doing it, as long as it wasn't like we'll add these other two eventually. If it was like, okay, in 1.21, we're going to add the next one, and then the other two after that will just come either before 1.22 or, during 1.22 or something like that. I think that would be better because there'd be a lot less anger then. My mob didn't get in. I was really looking forward to that. I'd already thought of loads of different ways of using it and farms I could use. I really, I think that would soften the blow substantially. What do you think, Slack?
But they've always stated from the beginning, you get one chance at this mob. And if it doesn't get in, you're not getting the others. I mean, I would have loved to seen the Blaze King in the game, but we didn't get it. Instead, we got the stupid Phantom.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I think the mob vote could potentially bring something good, but the last few have not been good mob votes.
No.
In comparison to how they were. They started off really strong and really good, yet somehow we still voted into Phantom when we could have had the Blaze King, or we could have had the underground thing that came up and ate you and stuff,
But do you think if they said, instead of saying no, you only get one, if they said you're going to get all three, but this is going to be the first one that goes through,
then what? Care?
No one would care. Yeah, but that would. I still think there'd be a lot of hype, not as much. But it definitely...
No, because where's the hype for the meerkats and the buzzards and the palm trees? All these things that they said we were going to get with these other biome updates. We had biome updates, remember? Votes for which biome you want to see added in first. And then they deliberately said, we will add these others in. Where are they at?
Yeah, you're right. And there hasn't been as the divisive a thing as which generates the hype. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I think you're right, Serbius. I think it would be better in terms of making people not argue with each other as much, but I think there would be a lot less hype. So, oh man, I still think they should stop doing it altogether.
I mean, they promised us a swamp update and we didn't get it till so much later. And then what did we get? Boats? What did we get in the swamp? We got the swamp boats in the mangrove.
I think I just read your one by mistake as well, Slack. Jeez.
It's all good. Which one did you just read?
Cerberus.
Okay. And Yumi-chan is up next and says, what are your feelings on the last update? Aside from water splash being way too loud suddenly, I'm starting to feel a lot of disappointment and dread whenever I get the notice that Minecraft is updating.
Honestly, I was in this minor update 1.20.30.
Yeah, I haven't even played it yet.
There is a surprising amount of, oh no, what's going to be broken? Oh no, what's not going to work? And I don't think that, I mean, I used to have that anyway with all of my add-ons and packs and things because they always broke. But that is, oh no, what's not going to work actually in the world now. There is a lot of that. But that is, like we said earlier, just part and parcel of how much they're doing in such a short space of time. You just got to expect it, really. And the game, Bedrock Edition, is changing. They're adding new features and they're changing how things work for parity reasons. And you've just got to roll with it, I guess, and just hope that there are, when there are these game-breaking bugs, they hope that they fix them pretty quickly. So far, touch wood, fingers crossed, I haven't seen anything that's like actually game-breaking on Bedrock for a long time. I mean, we've had points where whole chunks would be deleted, or things wouldn't load in, or you would just die unexpectedly, or your ender chest disappeared and you lost all your items. There's been some real horrible stuff, and we haven't had anything at that scale for a long time. But we do. It's the little ones that annoy us, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's that classic saying: do 100 things, do it right 99 times, do it once, everybody will remember it.
Yeah,
do it wrong once, everybody will remember it. They don't remember the good things. Nobody remembers the good things. They only remember the negative.
Yeah.
Just the nature of humans.
Nature of the beast. Speaking of beasts, Red Raven says, did they change composters? I have one in my iron/trade farm for the flowers from the golems. I noticed earlier I have to click on it before it will make bone meal. The hopper will fill it, then it will stop. Yeah, you've always had to click to get the bone meal out. It doesn't just pop out. You either put a hopper underneath to collect it.
Yeah.
Or, you fill it up and then it turns to bone meal, like the color of it, and you have to click it to get it. It's always been that way.
So if you're feeding a hopper into it and you're not pulling a hopper out of it, you're going to have to click it. Yep.
Yeah.
The Praetor is up next. It says, if you put a hopper and a chest underneath the composter, it should... Well, that's the second part.
It's a response. Sorry, my bad.
Then the Praetor says, you just deleted things, everything moved. Of your time playing Minecraft, what build or contraptions were your favorites?
Oh, man. What a load. Jeez. Slack, come on. You're good at memory stuff.
My favorite was the Witch Hut and the Netherrack Mountain. As far as builds, I remember the first time. I want to share something, but I can't share it because I can't share it. I really want to share it too, but I can't share it.
Don't share it. Tell me later.
The Witch Hut I really had a lot of fun with, and the Witch Hut was pretty easy for the most part. And at that time, it was more of a nod towards SciCraft and what they had done. You know, because people at that time on Bedrock were, you can't make a witch farm. You can't do it out of a witch hut. So many people. Even this guy right here at one point said you couldn't do it. You know,
Can't do it. It's not possible.
Yeah. So that was kind of my whole point of that build, even though it was horribly inefficient and everything like that, but it worked. My favorite thing, though, about that base, which is now something I absolutely don't like to do at all, was when I started building custom trees.
Because you did a lot of them as well. I don't know how you had the patience to do that. I really don't.
I loved them. It was when I started pushing myself outside the box, because I feel pretty good at my technical skills in Minecraft. I can go in, I can build you a farm, I can build this, I can do that. Technical Minecraft, I can do good. But like the Witch Hut, let's look at the Witch Hut. It's literally a technical build, because I did nothing but repeat a pixelated pattern and just made it into a giant build. There wasn't nothing fancy about it.
It looked good though.
But yeah, it did. It looked nice. But the true beauty of that base had nothing to do with the Witch Hut. The Witch Hut was just there for scale. It was a flex.
Yeah.
The true beauty of that base was the fog effect rivers and the custom trees. The pushing myself in a building direction. I love organic builds. I hate structured builds, but you can do structured builds so good. Like your stuff that I started falling in love with of your Minecraft stuff was when you were playing on your Foxy play server that became your patron server, where you had that big dugout underground area, and it was just like all smooth stone. Yeah. And just, I can't build like that. I can't. It like your city. I can't. It just, no, I can't do. It just, structured builds drive me insane. I can't do it.
I forgot about that. That was probably my favorite build then. Was that I dug out such a massive underground area, and then there was 2 levels, and each chunk had its own farm in it. Yeah, yeah. And in the end, we had to get my patrons to help me finish it off before we finished that series, because it was just so big. I never got around to finish it. But yeah, I loved that. That was a brilliant project. That's what got me into one chunk farms, because I was like,
I loved it. I thought it was beautiful.
Every single one of those farms, it might not have given me everything all the drops in the world, but they all worked. And a little bit of AFK, I had more than I ever needed of everything. And there was everything in there. We had passive mob farms, there was netherwart farms, snow farms, you name it, there was a farm in there.
Farm, you had them all. Yep.
And then downstairs, I had like the different biome rooms. So there was one that looked like the end with the port. I think we had cheaty end portals in that one as well, because that was a version of Bedrock where you could actually get the end portal frame as a block. We had a nether biome, or like a fish one. Got a fly
flying around. It's driving me nuts. Okay, it's driving me nuts. It had to go.
Clapping at how good my builds were, but no, you just try and get that fly. So yeah, that's probably what I was thinking before. That was actually, I really enjoyed on season 2 where I did that plateau. I enjoyed the castle. It wasn't the biggest castle in the world, but
that was nice.
I quite enjoyed the processing of just putting that together, and I thought it looked really nice. I was really happy with that. It's the first time I'd really gone outside of my comfort zone with a build, even though it was still pretty structured because it was a castle, but it was quite a nice looking castle, I think, with its prismarine roof.
I think one of my favorite memories is it's going to be hard. There's a few that I really enjoyed. I enjoyed the day that we spent blowing up your iron farm and destroying all the landscape around there just for that meteor impact video.
Yeah, that was good fun. Killing the villagers off, yes.
That was an all-day thing. I had got so much TNT from that witch hut, and we just blew that area up.
Yeah. That was so satisfying, considering that was like my starter. We must have been there for a month, like a starter base, had all my stuff in it, my farms, my little house, everything. No, just blow it up. Blow it all up.
Yep. And we did too. We did.
Yeah. No camera tricks. It was a lot of fun. Just boom. Yeah.
We blew it all up, except you all just saw it blow up as, a meteor incoming, but it was several hours of off camera just blowing it all up.
Digging it out, blowing it up, building a little crater in there, making an impact line, putting the fire down. Yeah, it was good fun, that.
Another. I know I'm going down memory lane, so you're just gonna have to deal with it. Another one of my favorites.
I'll just sit back.
The episode where we were recording, and I brought you to Blaze Rods. That's actually the episode where the princess thing came into a joke. But remember, we recorded for like 40 minutes, and then we got over to your base, and we were still recording, and then we finished. And then you were like, Slack, I can't use none of that. Because I was just talking about how this building got completed and I didn't do it. And I had all the blocks in my inventory the whole time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Continuity. Yeah. Oh, man.
You're like, I'll just not do it. And I was like, no, let's just do it all again.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just do it all again. And we did it all again. But in my video, I didn't have to use the second take.
No.
I used the first take, but Foxy used the second take. That's why in that episode, there's different things that happen there because we both had different views on that.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, the things we used to do just for a little bit of storyline. Jeez. That's why we used to get more views. Right, okay.
Yeah.
Not So Blue Sheep says, do you think developers really don't have the time to give us an awesome update once a year? I think if everything was planned and they were like, hey, make all of this cool stuff, they could do it in a week. It'd be easy, right? They're smart people. They know what they're doing. The time issue isn't how long it takes to actually develop it. It's all of the meetings and the ideas and the story, they go in and like, can we do this and can we do that? And should we do this and shouldn't we do that? And is this going to be okay here? And is that going to be okay here? And how will that affect this? And how will that affect that? But what about people in this country? And what about people that like sprouts? And what about people, that's the time sink. Now, I'm pretty sure I heard many ago that they were always planning like 3 updates ahead, like the theme. But I'm pretty sure over the last couple of years, that's just gone out the window.
Yeah, I'd say that's gone out the window indeed.
Judging by the last few updates we've had, at least. Anyway, I'm sure they've got some sort of roadmap where they're like, we're hoping to achieve this next year and we're hoping to achieve that. But I think when you've got a massive team and a massive company, and don't forget, it's not just developers. The developers is a small subset of the entire process at Mojang. You've got managers, assistants, marketing people, artists. You think of a job, there'll be a job there. There'll be a lot of those people will have to. Everything will have to go through the chain. Someone will have an idea. They'll have a meeting, right? what we're going to put into this update, and there'll be loads of ideas coming out, and they've got to filter through all the rubbish, decide what's actually achievable. And that'll be bouncing. Can we achieve this? Go down to the developers a week later. No, we tried it, but actually, can't do that because of this, and it causes that problem with this lag. And it's just a massive big problem. That's the problem. So yeah, I think it is difficult for them, even with a whole year to do that. And I think just like all of the other companies in the world have been doing, everybody's been playing catch up since COVID. It's all right saying, oh, yeah, well, they could work from home. You can work from home, but then everything's on an extra slowdown then. You might get your workload done a whole lot faster, and you might feel like you're being really productive because you haven't got the distractions of meetings every 10 seconds. But the time between you then feeding that back and then coming back to you is suddenly elevated. So loads of factors to consider of why things take so long and why they seemingly feel so behind. Don't know is the answer. What do you think, Slack?
No, I think you nailed it. I don't think there's anything I can really add to that.
Okay.
See this next one here. You're going to love this one. It's from Barenzo. And they say, Foxy, how do you feel about Mojang adding in vanilla percent player sleep, being that it is your most popular add-on?
Well, I'm really happy about it. It's one of the biggest bugbears of that add-on was that it was just not compatible with anything because it used the player entity file, which means I was permanently getting, I put your one player sleep on it doesn't work with this, or it's broken this add-on and it's not compatible. It's actually a big weight off. It's a big weight off knowing that I don't have to make workarounds for all of the stupid bugs that cause problems with the pack like there have been recently. And also I don't have to worry about any other packs that I make having to conflict with it anymore. So yeah, no, it's nice. I'm glad one player sleep is just as simple as a simple command in the command thing.
Should have always been.
Should have. She really should have. But then when, we go through these processes, like just getting coordinates, how much of a fuss and struggle was it getting coordinates? Okay, you can have it, but only behind a cheat wall. But it's not cheating to know where I am in the world.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's permanently on your screen. Fine.
I don't want it permanently on my screen. Do like it was. Put it on the map. I liked it on the map in the console edition. It was perfect.
Yeah, that was good. That would have been fine.
Yeah.
No, Slack can have it on the screen. I know, got to be on the screen all the time.
Oh, it's so annoying. So annoying.
Yeah. Okay. Not so Blue Sheep says, what a question.
Really? I mean,
what's Mexican food like in England? I don't know what it likes. It's Mexican. I'm not Mexican food. How am I supposed to know what Mexican food likes? Could like anything. You moron. A stupid question.
That's not what they're asking, Foxy.
Oh, what are they asking?
What's Mexican food like in England?
Oh. Well, considering I have never eaten it anywhere else in the world, it tastes just like Mexican food as far as I'm concerned. But I've no idea. I'm sure I think Chinese food tastes much different to Chinese food if I actually went to China and ate it. And no, I don't know. It tastes like Mexican food.
That brings up a very interesting question because while I was over there are so many things that are titled American, and they do not exist in America at all.
Yeah, well, half the stuff we order from the Chinese don't exist in China.
Yeah. Yeah, half of the stuff that I've seen over there that you all labeled as American, they're like, American this, American that. And I'm like,
if it's got high fat content, lots of steak, barbecue sauce, and sugar in it, it's American.
No. No. One of my favorites, though, was y'all like several of y'all, aka being people from England, are like, American hot dogs in a can.
Yeah, American hot dogs.
No.
Yeah.
I've had those now over there. No, that's not a hot dog. That's Spam wrapped in plastic.
You telling me that jar of hot dogs in brine that are slightly longer than the ones we get, the British hot dogs, are not American hot dogs? They must be. They've got the American flag on.
No. But they're packaged and made in England. If you look at the bottom of the bottle, it tells you that.
But they're based on America. Each one of them looks just like America.
No, they don't. No, they don't. At all. You want the closest thing to an American hot dog over there, you need to go get the German ones. That's the closest things. Yeah. That's about as close as you're going to get.
What they do, right? Okay. The reason it's called an American hot dog is because they're bigger than the other ones, right? So, but we don't like that horrible stuff they've got in German sausages in England. So they fill it with the nasty Spam stuff that we get in hot dogs.
That's not what is in a hot dog. That is straight up Spam. You take that plastic coat off, which I think that's what they want you to do anyway, because trying to bite through that is a joke. Now, hot dogs are not meant to be harder than shoe leather. Okay, I can even take them outside and cook. No, they're not. That's nasty. That's like stuff that goes on pickle dog. Okay, you don't eat that.
What? A pickle what? A pickle dog?
Y'all don't have. Yeah, y'all don't have that over there. You don't eat that. Okay. Like your summer sausage. You take the thing off the summer sausage. You don't eat the paper.
Summer sausage?
Oh, for goodness sake.
Next question, Slack.
Jen says, you were talking about food earlier. What's your favorite family recipe, your go-to comfort food? Look, my
American
go-to
hot
comfort
dogs.
food is done.
Do you know what? As daft as it sounds, one of my favorite comfort foods is I get like 4 slices of bread and a tin of hot dog sausages, and I just have 2 little hot dog sausages and a slice of bread with tomato sauce. Not the American ones; they're just the small, short ones. But yeah, that's like comfort food for me. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. Family recipe. My mum does an amazing lasagna. I've no idea how to cook it. I like making bologneses. I don't know. Don't really have a family recipe, I guess. What about you, Slack? You talking to me yet?
I'm sorry. Huh? Did you say something?
Has my number not been
right.
recognized? Oh, geez.
Yeah. The number you're trying to reach has been disconnected or is no longer in service. Please hang up and try your call again. Look, comfort food, family recipe, those are 2 different things. You're asking 2 different questions.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. One of my I really like ham, egg, and chips. That's one of my comforty things. I really like that. That if I'm having a bad day and I've got the opportunity to go out and eat, that's probably one of the things I'd get. I don't make it at home because it's never as good. But yeah, I don't know. Got all sorts of things I like. I just like normal food, I guess.
I mean, what do you consider a comfort food as well? Like, how do you classify comfort food?
Well, it's probably bad for you, but makes you feel this. You know, you love it. You know, you like eating it, even though it doesn't necessarily good for you and it fills you up. So big portion, probably not that great for you. That just makes you smile.
Then we grew up dirt poor in my house. I mean, dirt poor. When it rained more inside the house than it did outside. So we didn't have a lot of things going on.
You're standing on the wrong side of the door, Slack.
Yeah. Oh, no, you go outside, it was less rain. Because it didn't pull and collect in and didn't drip in through the hose in the house.
Jeez.
We did. We grew up dirt poor. But we didn't have potato chips all the time. We couldn't afford them in my house. We had potatoes. We had fried potatoes a lot. We had beans a lot. But one of my favorite things, we had a lot of popcorn. And one of the weirdest combinations of food that I consider a comfort food for me is to make tuna fish sandwiches and then have a bag of buttered popcorn with it.
Ooh.
That's one of my go-to comfort foods, even to this day. If I need to be filled up, because popcorn expands, obviously, and then you have a drink, makes you feel more full than you actually are. And we couldn't always afford to have cold cut sandwiches, lunch meat in the fridge.
Yeah.
We couldn't afford it. But at that time, you could buy multiple cans of tuna fish really cheap. So tuna fish sandwiches and buttered popcorn. That's one of my odd comfort go-to foods. Go ahead.
No, go.
I was going to say, if I had to have a last meal, okay, if I was going to die tomorrow and I had a choice of a last meal, it would either be that or it would be every Sunday dinner we had as a kid. And this is probably my other comfort food, which would be fried chicken, fried potatoes, beans and cornbread.
Oh, that's a really tricky one. Sunday roast or fish and chips or ham egg. Oh, geez. Oh, that's difficult. But yeah, I was going to say, back in my university days when I was a very, very poor student, a couple of things that used to get me by that I used to like. So you could buy tins of spaghetti and sausages, which is not like, well, it is spaghetti, but it's basically like beans in tomato sauce, but spaghetti and tomato sauce and little sausages in there. Those with a packet of Quavers, like dipped in, was really nice. And also pot noodles with crisps in. Get a pot noodle and a bag of crisps and chuck the crisps in the pot noodle, smash it all up, and you get crispy bits in it. That's nice.
Like ramen? Is that what you're talking about? Like ramen noodles?
Noodles. Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Oh my God. I hadn't tried it till probably last year. I finally had ramens with egg.
Ooh.
Oh my God. One of the best things ever. It is one of the best things ever. Take you some of those little noodles, cook those, put your beef flavoring or whatever in, then crack you an egg, put your egg in there and let it set for about a minute and then pull that all out. Bust that egg and eat it. Oh, it's amazing.
Not So Blue Sheep says, what's ramen? Like, I've heard the word loads of times, but it's not something I'm aware of. It's not, I don't think it's a, I'm sure it exists here, but we probably call it something else.
Yeah, I think y'all call them instant noodles or something like that. They're like
noodles.
the packaged square
super noodles.
Yeah, that's what they are. You also do the ones in the cup, but you all have
pot noodles.
Like you'll have like tomato and garlic or whatever. You'll have different flavors for them.
Yeah.
Y'all don't just sell like just plain Jane ones.
Yeah, there's loads of different brands of like noodly things, but I've never gone to the shop. I'm sure you can probably buy ramen, but I've never seen it. I've never gone there and bought that.
No.
Jeez. Okay, we got one more question from Uma-chan, who says, is there a redstone machine that you felt was something you could never make and it took you a while to finally make? Mine was a multi-nether portal XP farm.
There's only one thing I struggle with, and I know I still can't do them to this day.
Go on.
And that's slimestone flying machines. I hate them. I understand them on Java. I understand them there, but on Bedrock, they just
don't work on Bedrock. They don't. No. They're too unreliable. I've gone back to that drawing board with those things so many times, and the randomness of the pistons firing. I mean, I've had them working up and down, and then all of a sudden, for no reason, it'll just crash or break or something, or reverse or go the wrong way. They're just way too unreliable. But generally speaking...
that wasn't the question, though. The question was that you felt like you couldn't do, but you finally did do.
Well, that's the thing. I, generally speaking, think I can do it. And I do. It just sometimes takes me a lot longer to achieve than I thought.
Mine was my first 3x3 piston door without a tutorial.
Yeah, like big old piston doors or just triple piston extenders. Like, I knew I could do it, but it took me ages to figure it out. And it wasn't pretty and it wasn't clean and tidy at the end of it, but I did it. So I don't go into it thinking I can't do it, because if I thought that, I wouldn't do it. I think I can do that. I can figure it out. Yeah, no, if I know it's broken, there's no point in even trying.
If it includes observers, I try to avoid it like the plague.
Yeah.
Unless it's a trident killer.
Only use observers if they only have one job. If they're not having to constantly look every single tick, it's fine. If they're just like looking occasionally, it's all right. Yeah. Jeez. Okay, that is it for the questions, which means that's pretty much it for the podcast. But if you've got a question and you want to ask us, you can email us at news@theblockupdate.com, fill out the feedback form on our blockupdate.com website, or join our Discord. I just want to remind you all that we are sponsored by... no, we're not sponsored by anyone. We're supported by Patreon. The people that go to Patreon, patreon.com/theblockupdate, and support. And if you are enjoying the show, then you can help us out by supporting us on there as well.
And Slack, if you want to sponsor us, give us a call.
Yeah. Taking sponsorships, anything,
mm-hmm.
whatever.
Bob's just... Mechanics, sounds good.
Yeah. American hot dogs.
Today's episode of the Block Update podcast is brought to you by them American hot dogs in a can. No.
Okay. What you got going on this week, Slack? Anything?
Videos, Monday, Wednesday, Friday streams, probably all on the second channel. No, we got TV
Bedrock.
Stream weekend coming up. Yep, and we got a Chaos Stream.
So when's Chaos Stream? Just remind me.
Saturday, 7 your time.
Okay, so I'm streaming Saturday morning Truly Bedrock, 7 p.m. Chaos, and then Sunday morning Truly Bedrock. Okay, so I've got a bunch of streams to do. In between that, I'm probably going to be making some more Create content. My next Create video comes out tomorrow as we're recording this, which is yesterday as you're listening to this. And that's probably all I've got in the bag at the moment. So, I guess, as usual, if you want to get in touch, you can email us, fill out the feedback form, or join our Discord and let us know there. And all I've got left to say is the same thing that I say at the end of every single podcast. It's always the same, Slack, isn't it? Every single time. And that is...
If you like hot dogs out of a can, you're not American.
How did you know what I was going to say? That's because I say it every single time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Good. I'd have to say it then. Good. Right. I'll see you all next week.
Not until you finish your homework.
Well, yeah. I got a lot of homework this week, Slack. I've got so much homework to do this week. I've got to update Truly Bedrock, which is a nightmare because all the packs on that are totally custom. I've got to update my login system. I've got to update... Can I just go to sleep?
I do that when things get stressful. Ask Jen. If I get too stressed out, it's like I'm taking a nap, and I go dive in the bed.
Amazing. Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Right, it's about time that I took a nap anyway. It's that time of night. So thanks for watching, peeps. We'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.
Bye.